The barrel begins from here until here. So the barrel is the same barrel as in a regular assault rifle.
A long barrel makes for an accurate weapon. The Micro Tavor packs rifle accuracy into a submachine gun frame.
The Micro Tavor was developed together with our special forces. They gave us feedback on all kind of features of the weapon to be adapted to their needs.
Accuracy, rate of fire, reliability, and power. The Micro Tavor is the ultimate commando weapon for the 21st century. One type of mission has come to define the Israeli commando. The awesome reputation of Israeli Special Forces was built on the daring hostage rescue missions of the 1970s.
Suddenly, everybody in the world knew all about Israeli Special Forces.
Israeli commandos are the most specialized fighting force in the world. 40+ units, each trained for a unique mission. Hostage rescue is the most complex of all strike missions.
Every mission needs expert. You have a doctor for eye, and you have a doctor for stomach, and you have a doctor for heart. And this is exactly what we find. We need elite units that train to do special missions.
Hostage takings are a fact of life in Israel. The rescue missions are the speciality of one unit. The Yaman.
Today, Yaman Israel, we recognize all over the world. It's a very professional unit. Over the years, they've developed tactics and techniques that everyone learns from today.
The Yaman cherry-picked some of the best Special Forces members and tactics. The Yaman's doctrine is attack. Their secret is practice.
The idea is to create controlled chaos. You have to be very fast and very accurate and not trigger happy. When you have hostages around, you can't just shoot thousands of bullets off, or hundreds of bullets off, and, you know, hopefully killing only the terrorists. You have to hit the bus hard, fast. It's going to be very surgical.
The Yaman was created in 1988, and they only act within Israel's borders. Rewind to the airliner hijackings of the 1970s. Jobs for Israel's premier fighting elite, the super secret Sayeret Matkal.
Sayeret Matkal is a very special unit which has very secret and confidential objectives. In addition, it has one more objective of anti-terror warfare, hostage rescue.
Sayeret Matkal wrote the book on airline hijack rescue. The 1972 Sabina incident in Lod, Israel was a perfect example. A team including future Prime Ministers Ehud Barak and Benjamin Netanyahu posed as airport technicians, sabotaged the plane, and overcame the hijackers. The strategy was copied all over the world. But the Entebbe hijack and rescue 4 years later broke all known rules.
The Entebbe raid is one of the great classic examples of the success of Special Forces.
On June 27, 1976, Palestinian and German terrorists demanding the release of Palestinian prisoners hijacked Air France Flight 139 from Tel Aviv to Paris. The terrorists flew the plane to Entebbe in Uganda. The hijackers released all the non-Jewish passengers. 104 hostages remained, including the crew. They were moved to the abandoned old terminal building. In Israel, the separation of Jew and non-Jew had chilling echoes of the death camp selections. The crisis became an Israeli matter, a job for the elite Sayeret Matkal. The Sayeret team immediately started planning a solution the only way they knew how: attack. Released hostages confirmed that Ugandan leader Idi Amin was colluding with the terrorists. A division of his best soldiers guarded the airport. A large commando force would be needed. But a large force would make the crucial element of surprise difficult to maintain.
The element of surprise is the key to the success of the mission, because the terrorist could pull the trigger in a split second and start killing hostages.
Mookie Betzer was put in charge of operational planning and would lead the break-in teams. By amazing coincidence, Mookie had trained Idi Amin's paratroopers 9 years earlier. He used his experience in Uganda to hatch a brilliant and daring plan. All he needed was a black Mercedes.
I knew that a Mercedes is used by high-ranking officers, ministers and Idi Amin. When a soldier sees a Mercedes, he salutes and lets the car go by. That is why I suggested that we take a Mercedes, and that's how we would keep the element of surprise.
The terrorists thought they were safe. They believed a large-scale commando raid launched 2,500 miles from Israel was the stuff of fantasy. But fantasy was about to become reality. The initial force of Sayeret Matkal fighters flew by Hercules into Entebbe Airport. They used the cover of complete darkness. Mookie and raid commander Yoni Netanyahu packed into the Mercedes with 9 other warriors.
We landed at midnight and immediately unloaded the Mercedes and the 2 Land Rovers.
The Mercedes team still had over a mile to travel to the old terminal where the hostages were being held. Things quickly began to go wrong. Halfway to the terminal, the Mercedes encountered a Ugandan guard. Yoni Netanyahu didn't wait to see if the disguise worked. He opened fire with his silenced pistol. The Ugandan soldier went down. The commandos in the Land Rovers then opened fire with unsilenced Kalashnikovs.
At that moment, we lost the element of surprise. We were forced to launch the attack before we had got to our planned positions. We raced into the openings and in seconds we broke into the terminal.
Mookie's break-in teams quickly recovered their momentum.
In that break-in, we killed 4 terrorists in the main terminal hall in the matter of seconds. A second team eliminated terrorists in the rest quarters.
All the terrorists were killed. A single hostage was shot. But outside, tragedy had struck. Raid commander Yoni Netanyahu had been hit by fire from the control tower.
I went outside and I saw that he was injured severely. A bullet had penetrated here in the chest. I called Shaul Mofaz and I told him, hit with the RPG and with your machine guns. They subdued the control tower.
3 more Hercules landed full of troops to secure the airport perimeter and organize the evacuation. 2 more hostages died during the escape. As a parting shot, the commandos destroyed Amin's 11 MiGs with RPGs and FN MAG machine guns.
It was a remarkable feat, which is